coming this way, Gil.
Okay, have you got me?
Yeah.
Nice.
No?
Yep, you got me?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, the old
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yep. Copy.
All right. Good afternoon and welcome to St George Sailing Club for Heat 3 of the Riley Marine Championships for the St George Sailing Club for season 2024. I'm Jimmy Bury and hello to all our loyal friends watching from Australia and around the world for what hopefully should be a spectacular day down here on Georges River. Joining me today in commentary is Jack Andrew and Dave Ewings. How are we, team?
Yeah, great, Jimmy. Thanks for having us on board again today. It looks like a nice little nor'east breeze, and hopefully we see a bit of action.
Talking about the weather, Jack, what are we looking at?
So we got a forecast of about 8 to 10 east nor'east, hopefully building a little throughout the day. Got a bit of a high sitting out in the Tasman, which is sort of keeping it at that level, I'd say. We've got a run out tide, about 1.3 metre run in it, with a low at about 350. So it won't get the seas that we normally see down here, but it should still be a nice day sailing.
Very good, Jack. And Gilly, what course have they got us on today, buddy?
Well, it looks like they've got the nor'east long course on, which is 4 times to Dolls Point, then back to Cummins, where the start is here, and then on the last time they'll be finishing in front of the club.
So all inside the river today.
Yep. Yeah,
Good. There's a course on screen for the viewers at home. And yes, they do cross their track in this one, Jack.
They do a little bit of a figure eight, just helps with the exit out of Cummins here, so they're not pushed into the moored boats. So yeah, it's a port hand at the top, starboard hand at the bottom.
And normally this time we'd look at the results from the previous club championship, but fill us in on what happened there, Jack.
Yeah, so for those viewers who watched the last live stream, we had quite a light day with challenging conditions, let's say, and there was some debate later about whether or not the race was fair. It went to a redress hearing, and it was the decision of the Pros Committee to abandon that race for it to be resailed later. So effectively today, we're it's the first. Hopefully, get the first results in, but it's actually Heat 3. Potential to resale those heats later on in the season.
Very good. And I guess we'll have a look at there's the current Australian champion, Boscabiel, on the screen. We might take a look at the list of all the entrants, go through them all, I guess. Who's who at the zoo, because there's a few people chopping and changing at the moment as well.
There are. It's going to be quite interesting. We've got every end of the spectrum here as far as skipper sizes today. We've got Sarah Lee, obviously being one of the smaller skippers in the fleet, and we've got Luca Damick, who's actually going to be steering his boat, the Witchard, today. So first time I've seen a 6'5", 95 kilo 16 skipper for a while.
Flano comes to mind.
Flano comes to mind. I don't know whether Flano's ever been 95 kilos, but so.
Maybe wringing wet.
But yeah, so that's going to be interesting. But I believe the theory is they're going to be sailing at 2 up with their normal forward hand, Joss, who decided to run into a pair of scissors during the week, and he's got 5 stitches in his arm. So he's coming for a sail, but Luca and Cam McDonald are basically going to be sailing the boat 2 up with a passenger coming along for the ride.
Well, Cam's no stranger to it, is he, Gil? So 12s and 14s and everything else in between.
I think if there's anyone who can sail 2 up, Cam is your man. You probably have all these little nuts and bolts and pulleys, bits of string and everything he needs just in case. It was probably his scissors that got Joss, was it?
There's a fair chance. Joss didn't actually say what he was doing with the scissors at the time, but yeah, nasty gash on his elbow. And we also have some other crew changes on some of the boats in the fleet. So the TTR Civil, Ryan Lindsay is not sailing today, and James Turner of Tribeca fame, I should say, is going to be on the sheet for them. Other than that, it's a pretty standard sort of crew list. Actually, we do have a fill-in on the metal workers with Josh Tasker in the bow today.
Very good. And there's Tagara, Tom, Sam and Sam.
Guessing Joss wasn't cutting his hair, was he?
No, Joss wasn't cutting his hair. So the start line looks to be a little bit boat end favoured, but with the tide running out, it's not a bad option to be on the pin and get out into the tide as quickly as possible. Wait and see how they all rock up in about 3 minutes' time. Yes, there's the metalworkers. So Josh Tasker filling in the bow today. Their normal forward end has once again a nasty injury with his hand. I saw it earlier today with it in a cast, so not sure how long he's going to be out for. And there's actually, so far so good, really interesting story behind their crew today. So the owner of the boat, Shannon Andrew, she's actually at the auction of her house today. She's selling a house, so couldn't make it today. So Bernard has jumped in to steer. Bernard used to sail 16s in the late 90s, early 2000s. With him sailing today is the normal crew, Dan McLaughlin, but also Ben Swinfield. Ben was one of Bernard's crews back then in the 90s, and I don't think he sailed a 16 for over 20, 25 years. So we'll wait and see if someone's collapsed in the bottom of the boat. That's probably him.
So with not long to go here, where are you wanting to go in this run-out tide nor'easter, guys, being the locals?
Well, at the moment, the breeze has been swinging to the left the longer we've been out here. But probably wouldn't hurt to get out into that channel over to the left there and just sort of bang up the middle. I'd be looking towards, and then I'm pretty sure when they turn the mark, they'll be hitting the shores on the way back. But,
yeah, I think it's going to be so dependent on whether we have any sort of build in the breeze or not. If the breeze does fall at all, like Gil said, I think it's really going to pay to stay out the tide downwind and well and truly stay in it upwind in the channel.
Just looking up the course, it is still swinging to the left up towards that top mark up there.
I think that'd be my gut feel. Would be left at the moment.
Yeah.
So it looks like most of the fleet racking up at the boat end at this stage, but they'll drift their way down. But
it's not a real long line either.
No. Bosker is in quite a good position there, I think. Tagara quite advanced. Looks like they're taking attack back now to actually give themselves a bit of room. Could be interesting at the boat here with TTR Civil and Tagara, whether they get in. Metal Workers going for the pin, together with Witchard.
15 seconds to go. We're just slightly out on our time.
Okay, so clear start. Bosker got away nicely with Witchard at the pin.
Tagara's climbing off him nicely there too.
Metal Workers must have thought they were over. They've gone back around.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they ran over with about 5 seconds to go. I saw them running off that leeward end.
So a little bit of a drag race at the moment. See who can get to that shore as quickly as possible and get that first tack out. I think that first tack's going to be so critical to this next long port leg up the river. If you get your lane, you can make real good gains on those boats that don't.
Bosker is just getting a bit of a jump away there, aren't they?
Yeah, I think you can see, compared to some of the other boats, that Bosker just nicely, like dead upright in the water, nice and flat. Crew 100% hike, and just, yeah, they look very nicely set up indeed. So the trick... Sorry.
They're just starting to lift a bit to the right, aren't they?
Yeah, you're just climbing off there. The trick's really going to be where they actually tack when they get into the shore. The sand flats can be quite deceiving when you're going in there how far you can go, especially at a lower tide. So hopefully no boats run aground, but if they do, quick tackle will have them off.
Looks like the Noakes have climbed up into a nice position there.
Yeah, they've really got it. Everyone's sort of really fighting to hold their lanes there, and at the moment it looks like the Tagara might be the one that ends up being spat out. So it looks like Richard coming back, will pass behind those 4 boats. Bosca just tacking now as well. And they're going to cross the Noakes and the Tagara.
Good early advantage.
Yeah, they're good. And yeah, they're going to have clear air here the whole way across. Noakes rolling into attack as well, together with Tagara shortly.
There are some little nice gusts just rolling along the beach here from the point.
Yeah, you can certainly pick up some nice left-handers along here. Another option too for them is to hit this Sandringham point, quite a bit of tide, sort of runs around there. If they can get that behind them, it can be beneficial.
Just looking long vision up here, it has swung a little bit back to the right.
It's an interesting one with river sailing. You basically it's like an AC track with your boundaries. You can't really get too far away, but it's enough to you got to still play your shifts to get your gains and losses there. So
am I hearing you right, Jack? You're comparing the river to the AC track.
What I'm suggesting is that they don't have as good a telecast and technology. No, but just as far as the boundaries.
Yeah.
So
Where they're heading over there now, I'll run aground there in the 16s. How far can they go there?
yeah, look, it's always tough to know how far you can go in. There's a bit of an old saying, I'll let you know if we hit. But basically, yeah, look, majority of the river is sandy bottom. Now, where they're going in there at the moment, the Bosca build, who's actually just tacking, there's a little bit of oyster shells and old oyster leases are in there.
Right.
That's pretty much the only area of the river where you can do some damage to your boat. A few years back in the Bondi Bay, Nathan Wilmot found that out the hard way. You stop very quickly. Whereas when you run around in the sand, most of the time you can still just chuck it straight into attack and get away with it.
Rule of thumb though, if you stay between these 2 red channel markers in this area, you're pretty safe. You obviously go further in at a high tide.
Yeah, I suppose that's the key consideration. We've got probably another hour or 45 minutes of run in the tide before it gets to a low. So yeah, there's probably can't push the edges as much as they normally would. A bit of a chop starting to build. Even with the lighter wind, that run out tide's making things a little bit interesting.
Having a good race, these 3, aren't they? There's not much between the 3 of them.
No, well, Bosca Build's cleared out by probably 25, 30 seconds, but then Noakes and Tagara are really having a great battle. At the moment, Tagara looks like they're climbing up to Noakes' line. Whether that's Noakes just trying to advance and give them a bit of dirty air, I'm not sure, but
I don't like the angle Boskers has got into. Well, the alright if they tack, but they. Yep, they go. They tack.
They heard you, Gilly.
Yeah. Not really a common nor'easter, is it today?
No.
Don't normally do a lot of lifts and knock type tacking today. Oh, no, nor'easter, but with this weather system, it's going to be one of those days.
Normally in a black run outside nor'easter, you just trying to hold on, the crew are trying to make it so their ankles don't get washed off the gunnels, and downwind just trying to keep the boat upright. You're not really, the tactics don't play a huge part other than finding flat spots to tack and jibe in. But today, a little bit different. So it's Tagara, Bosker and TTR are heading back right. Noakes went a little bit further and off across the left. So when Tagara and Noakes come back, we'll see who's paid.
Yeah. Be interesting to see if they try and stay out of this laser fleet. Probably chopping up a bit of breeze.
It's just a bit of fun going through the laser fleets. How many points you can get?
Boskerville looks like they're on their way for a 4-dance start here at the laser.
So viewers, we're just actually trying to spot the top mark. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's up towards Port Botany there. Top mark.
Oh, yep, the yellow cone.
We're probably 60% of the way up this work at the moment.
The good thing is at least we got breeze today.
It gives you something to talk about compared to our race the other week.
Now,
So off camera, the Tagara and Noakes still holding a narrow lead when they crossed. So they're still enjoying a nice battle.
just noticing Luca on the Wishart steering from the wire. It's not something I've seen a lot of.
It's been some time
in
since
modern years.
Yeah, it's been and flying is he flying a protest flag or is it a colour sticky
No,
back?
that's his
That's his
design.
Oh, he's done his design logo, of course.
Does look like a protest flag, doesn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, it's been some years I think since the a skipper has steered regularly on the wire. Of course, we can't forget to sort of mention Craig Nichols. He was probably one of the last of the full-time wire steerers in the 16s.
Yeah. Well, Bruce Savage, probably the last.
Bruce Savage last season, yeah, on the Red Pumps Red, wasn't it, last year?
Yep.
Well, I think with Lucas steering the wire, as I said earlier, he's 6'5" and 95 kilos. So
Makes a lot of sense.
it certainly does.
Some leverage on that one today with Jimmy in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, the TTR civil there on camera. Yeah, like Gil said, plenty of leverage. James Turner on the sheet, filling in for Ryan Lindsay. Ryan's probably the same, if not maybe a little bit heavier even actually. So this is where it starts to get interesting for the Sail Media team. Although George River's not really a congested waterway normally, we do have a number of other fleets sailing on our course together with George River Sailing Club having their laser fleet. So bear with us if we have to take some avoiding action at time to time.
We'll be okay, I hope, Jack. Just trying to pick our way through here.
I think the Bosca's had a bit of a gain picking to the left on this side, haven't they? The two that went right.
Yeah.
Have just dropped off the back a little bit.
Like I said, Noakes and Tagara are still having a battle, but yeah, off camera, Bosca has certainly cleared out a bit. It's probably out to about a minute lead now. So both Tagara and Noakes are probably not too far off lay, except it's a poor rounding, so they'll be doing 2 more tacks, whereas Bosca's off camera about to tack onto a lay line and for the top mark.
Noakes and Tagara may have even overstood a little.
Yeah, well, maybe the tide's got them with the run out. They haven't allowed for it. Easy to do.
Even the Bosca, they're tight, but I'm pretty sure they're going to make it.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It looks like they got their lay line nicely there. In the background there, you can see the Noakes and the Tagara coming in, but yeah, like I said earlier, I think it's about a minute, maybe 45 seconds to a minute.
As we say that, I think the breeze has just swung to the right again.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're in here and not out there.
A lot drier in here. Bosca's still pretty comfortable in their lay there. Let's see how the crew work of Kurt Warner and Pete Mackey go here with this set.
Certainly got some experience, haven't they?
I think Pete's got more experience than the rest of the fleet combined.
Yeah, well, it was nice. First time I ever sailed a 16, I was 4th hand for Pete Mackey.
There we go.
Back when they used to have 4th hands.
Yeah, we'll age now, Gil.
Oh, yeah. I must admit, I was one of the last ones.
So, yeah, Pete Mackey been sailing 16 since the 80s, so there won't be too many other sheet hands going around that can say that. So Noakes setting now, they've got a skate under him. Tagara is going to have a similar sort of problem with traffic with the set, so it's just something for them to avoid, which probably they're not too happy about, but it is what it is.
Lucky being a little bit lighter today, they've got a bit of time. Normally when you come around this top mark and there's traffic there, everyone's disappearing down the waves. And
yeah, capsizing in front of you.
You got to hope that if you come around behind someone, they know what they're doing, because they can easily wipe out.
It looks a couple of skiffs, Witchard and TTR, might have been sort of caught out in a bit of the wind shadow of all the boats setting kites. Looking quite soft at the moment. Oh, and is that the Witchard capsized off just near the top mark? Sorry, just off camera there, folks, but
those double tiller extensions can be tricky.
All right, we might start to make our way down, or else the leaders will get too far away from us.
See Tagara's tacked out there, but the rest of the fleet's just heading in towards Georges River.
Yeah, not sure whether Tagara's thoughts that he hugged the eastern shore. It's one of those things downwind, trying to stay out the tide. It's not always easy to stay out the tide downwind as it is upwind. You tend to chuck it through more tacks upwind than you would jibes downwind, but they might be seeing something that no one else does. It's interesting with Noakes and Bosca being two of the top three. They've actually started making their boats as identical as possible, so they can two-boat tune for the states and then the nationals. So Bryce on Noakes being a rigger, and Kurt on Bosca build being a sail maker and launching his new, well, not his new loft, but a new sort of brand as Paradox Sails. And so they're hoping to, working together, they can get some good results at a state and national level. Seems to be working so far. I think Tagara's lost out big time here, heading back to the east.
As you were saying before, with all that traffic at the top, and they're probably going down behind them. The laser fleet's just chopped up.
Yeah.
Where Tagara is at the moment.
I reckon that jibe bounce probably cost Tagara 30 seconds.
It's not really one of those days where you have to try and tack and jibe in the flat water, is it? It's nice and smooth. You can pick wherever you want to tack and jibe.
Pretty much, and I think with the way the fleet had spread out a little bit on that first work, they didn't really need to worry about the rest of the fleet. They should be maybe concentrating on the Noakes and the Boscas boat on boat rather than trying to go put your time on all the other boats in the fleet. One thing it will do for Tagara, they might be able to, depending on where they put their next jibe in, they've got the option of making it so there's only two jibes left. I think Noakes have just jibed off screen. That would have been one of their three, so they can. Tagara should be able to jibe and get all the way down into the Cummins from where they are now.
Yeah, you don't normally want to be up too high in that eastern beach up there.
In under Pelican Gut and up in Woolooware Bay, yeah. So Bosca looks like they're great jibe there. It just looks like they're extending the whole way down this run.
Old Noakes be wanting to do. Yep, there they go. So just saying they're going to be running out of water soon.
Like you said, Gil, this is where it gets interesting. These both, Bosca and Noakes, both on the same line here, heading up into Woolooware. You get that lee under the tower, peninsula, Pelican Gut out there. Is it worth doing two extra jibes to stay in the breeze, or is it worth getting in there to stay out the tide?
I'm just looking back here. There are puffs of breeze there, but they're very isolated. They're not all big, are they? And I think the Noakes is about to get one, but I'm thinking Bosca's nearly already run through theirs.
Yeah, Noakes in quite a nice line at the moment.
Just looking at Bosca's gone a bit soft, haven't they?
Yeah, Bosca's got very soft there. Noakes are still bringing a breeze down to them. It'd be interesting if Noakes put another dive in and run back through that puff.
Yeah, well, they're running across it at the moment. They're probably going to have to anyway. They're going to run out of water, I think.
Yeah. Interestingly, Bosca still sailing up here and looking like they're almost trying to go to lay.
Oh, looks like Noakes soaked under. They are going deep, but I guess when your competition's following you, there's no need to lead out, is it?
Well, that's right.
You're that close to a lay.
Well, that's the beauty of building up that lead on the first work. They can make the other boats catch them rather than having to, do it themselves.
Well, that's a decent lead into the tide too.
Yeah.
They're going to round this mark and be gone.
So at the moment they look just a fraction of inside their lay. Hopefully they get a bit of, for their sake, they get a little bit of breeze, so they're not putting two light air jibes in just near the mark. See if Noakes learn from that and go a bit further.
Noakes did go a fair bit further, but it's still looking light up in that corner, isn't it?
Yeah, further back up the track, Tagara actually jibed out and head more out into the river to try and keep in that pressure, but we'll see how they come back.
Yeah. Way up whether you want to stem that tide or not, isn't it?
That's the issue. If you do go back out in the centre, you don't get the breeze. Yeah. Very slow.
Yeah. It's easy to say that in here. Oh.
You'll come down. You go to Noakes, yes.
All that depth that Noakes got there, they just gave it all back away to get around that MG.
I think that last half of the run, I think Noakes might have taken some time out of Bosca.
Gee, where are they off to?
It's blowing 20 knots.
Square it right up.
Yep. Yeah, it's about a 45-second lead for Bosca Build at the bottom mark the first time. Like we said earlier, it's 4 times to the top, 3 times here, so...
Unfortunately, Tagara's going to have a bit of traffic when they round this mark, aren't they? The first two got around in clear, and they've got some other fleets.
Yeah, Tagara's got an MG14 and a skate. Looks like probably going to be another 45 seconds back to Tagara, so... That first jibe out, halfway down or quarter of the way down the run, really cost Tagara there. They were They were right on Noakes' hammer.
Breeze has really lifted off, hasn't it, down here now?
Yeah, considering that's one of 4 laps, could be a long afternoon.
You're suggesting there's the off chance of a shortened course?
If it clears up, maybe we might get a bit more pressure.
The next boat coming in, TTR. They probably weren't hoping to be over 2.5 minutes behind the leader at the first bottom mark, so they got their work cut out for them to get back into the mix.
Junior won't get an invite back to fill in there.
He may not, no. Luckily, hopefully he has his own boat back on the water before the next race.
I think he'll be hoping so too.
Yeah, he's had a bit of not the best preparation for the season between some works on his boat, together with, I understand he might have had a little bit of an issue with a mast on a trailer. What the rumour suggesting.
I thought you were going to say his holidays.
Well, that's right. He does like a holiday. I know I can't talk, but
We've all had holidays.
I was going to say, Gilly, you went over the AC and Maxi Worlds, and what else did you see over there?
Well, I was in Barcelona for the Maxi Regatta with the boys, but we did end up watching a lot more AC than we did Maxis.
Surprising that.
They're good to watch on the TV, but when you're sitting on the water and an AC 75 goes past about 10 metres in front of you doing 35 knots in 8 knots of breeze, you think, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see if the guys designing 12 metres back in the 70s and 80s ever thought we'd see something like we see at the moment. So.
Makes you wonder where they can actually, how much more you can progress.
Yeah, where do they go? Yeah, every time you think they've hit the absolute pinnacle,
yep,
they take another step up. But yeah, this breeze has definitely lightened off. Probably only seeing 6 to 8 knots at the moment.
The guys in the mid to back end of the fleet are having a good race.
Yeah, got 11-teen, which are so far so good, and the Arbo Camp Metalworkers.
Yeah, having a good little battle.
TTR civil there. Jack, looks like they're back in a bit more pressure here over towards the clubhouse.
Yeah, there's a little bit of line come through. It's still only probably 8 to 10, but can make all the difference, that extra couple of knots when it's downrange.
Probably the max flow as well in the tide.
Yeah, that's right. And I think we just saw on camera there the fair bit of finger pointing going on by Junior there, James Turner, pointing where they need to be.
Specials board at the club, is that what you're pointing?
I think he was pointing we need to be up there, pointing at Bosca. It's a great theory.
You'll need binoculars shortly.
So you just on screen there, you can just see Bosca in the background, still with that nice lead over Noakes. Looks like
Seems to be a lot of going backwards and forwards across this channel, doesn't it? No one seems to have a real nice angle, do they?
No, there's a lot of boats feel like they're on a loser at the moment.
Yeah.
Tagara's probably one of the few ones there that have actually tacked in the middle of the channel and heading back towards the left.
There does seem to be a little bit of breeze in the middle towards the top. Be interesting to see whether people are staying on the sides or up the middle.
I think you'd still have to call it a left-hand course. I think to me, the majority of the pressure and the better shifts are on the left.
Oscar way out in front.
Yeah, they just seem to be picking their own little shifts, don't they?
Well, it's one of those things, I guess, when you've got the crew work that they do, with the weight distribution they do, and the boat preparation they have, it allows you to get the boat's already going. It allows you to get your head out of the boat, look for the shifts that are coming down. They've got clear air. They don't have any traffic to worry about. So,
And an awesome sponsor.
and an awesome sponsor. G'day, Spesh, if you're watching. Tommy Dawson there on camera, hiking a little bit too hard for my liking. Wouldn't have happened back in my day.
I don't think I've ever sailed with a skipper that's hiked like that.
And my theory was you had to sit upright to get your head out of the boat and see what's coming down. The problem with that is that Keegan never listened to me anyway, so...
Hence why he's sailing a one-up moth.
He still blames his crew.
Must be fun at your family Christmas parties, Jack.
The trick is to get in first, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's just, again, there's not a nice angle they're on, is it? A bit hard to tell on the screen, but it's...
Like I said earlier, I think it's one of those days where everyone appears to be on a not the greatest angle, but you got the something to do with maybe the tide pushing up, causing that.
As we say that, I don't like Noakes' angle either.
No. I think Bosca's angle looks a lot better right now.
At the moment, you can see that line of breeze hanging on that eastern shore over there.
And Bosca appears to be moving through the water quite well at the moment. It'll be interesting to see the delta at the bottom mark was 45 seconds. I think they might have stretched that out a bit.
Safety cover.
It almost looks like Bosca's tack there to go back to a lay, but it's a long way out still. I don't think this would have seriously considered a cover that with a lead of that distance. That maybe just being a little bit conservative.
And possibly trying to get around the laser fleet.
Yeah, that's a good point as well.
Thing is, I just watched that last tack. They tacked that well. It's not as if they lose a lot.
No, that's right.
They hardly slow down.
Yeah, that's the way, Sarah. See, sitting straight upright, you can see what's coming.
I don't think she contributes much to the weight out of the boat, Jacko.
Maybe she hasn't seen the TV camera yet.
The old camera hike. Haven't been known to do that myself.
Here they go into attack.
Yeah, they're pretty smooth, aren't they?
No, very smooth. Now there's the camera hike.
There she is. Just looks all too easy, doesn't it?
You can see there in the background the 13-foot skiff, which is number 26, which is new sponsor of Nate's, which is good to see them jumping on.
Certainly is, yeah. Actually, that boat is our co-commentator's old boat.
Yeah.
When you're young Ryan and yourself.
Yeah,
Gil?
I think Ryan was 11 or 12 or something when he started sailing that one.
Now he's sailing a similar sort of boat, just a little bit bigger,
Yeah,
100-footers.
with grumpy old men.
So down here, Jimmy, the 13-foot skiffs sail against the MG14s, and I think the next MG behind the 13's about an hour behind.
Right. So more people to get 13-foot skiffs down here.
That's the idea, yeah.
They are great boats. They're good fun.
They teach you so well for the 16s, I think. You know, especially in the big breeze, if you sail a 13 really well, you can sail a 16 really well as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they're still a bit of a handful.
They the new crew this season, or were they here last season?
These guys were here last season.
Yeah.
So Tom Hughes and Noah Chenol, sailing under their former sponsor's name last season. But yeah, they've been going quite well. I think I'm not sure where they're looking to do the Nationals this year, but obviously we'll do everything we can to get them up there.
Kurt's done an amazing job with that Boston bill to make it look particularly. Was that part of getting Mackie to sign the dotted line?
Mate, Kurt is just he leaves nothing to chance. Like his attention to detail is just incredible. Look, Kurt would have done that whether Mackie signed on or not. He's just he's one of those guys who understands that the race doesn't start when you get on the water. The race starts a long time before that. And it's no secret that they were able to throw together the boat last year, threw together a crew and come out and win the Nationals with limited practice.
There you go, that's how well maintained it is.
You could eat your dinner off that boat. A bit salty, but
I bet you it's not by tonight when it's put back in the on the trailer.
mate, they you get the chamois out, get the sponge, get the shampoo.
I'd be hoping for a little bit of tide to punch them up here a bit. Oh, actually, no. They're not going to get there, are they?
He's a tad underlay there. So, yeah, Noakes passing behind. Actually, they're quite a bit further back than they look on screen there. They're giving themselves plenty of margin on this lay. As is Noakes. So Bosco around.
Probably have the Noakes 13 and 16 come around together.
Shout out to Sean if he's watching. There's Noakes 13 around.
Noakes 16 around.
Yeah. Actually, believe it or not, Noakes took 5 seconds out of Bosker up that work. Oh.
There's your 5 seconds.
There's your 5 seconds gone, yep.
You're hard, Gil.
Tough marker, windward set.
Oh, I've had enough people put that on me for years. Now it's my turn. Actually, a little bit of breeze building out here.
Go down with those guys, Dylan.
Yeah, a little bit extra breeze, maybe it might compact the fleet up a little bit. If they bring some breeze down to the leaders. So Tagar about the round the mark, I was talking to Tommy Clout earlier. He said he's got an idea to how to beat Bosker. He's going to lose enough weight to be the same weight as Sarah. I'm not sure if that's possible.
Good to see you, Tommy.
Shut your legs off.
Check himself into St George Hospital for a month, and that should do it, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Hospital fee.
That should. I think maybe might be some other maybe some help needed after this set. Gil, any comments on this set?
That's 20 seconds.
Yeah. It's a little bit of preparation at the bottom there. What have we done? Is it round them?
There we go. It's coming out now.
There we go. Another can of McLube on that headsail.
So he's coming back through the fleet quite well as Wishart after they had that swing.
Yeah, definitely. They're off camera at the moment, but yeah, they're probably level with TTR. Maybe TTR might just have them. See how far. I was going to say.
Here's Wishart on screen.
That's. So Noakes jibing there. That I don't know. I thought they could have pushed that a bit further. Maybe they're sailing out of the wind a bit, but still probably another 10 to 15 minutes of run left in this tide. So maybe a little bit more. Actually, we had some rain, a little bit of rain overnight on Thursday night. It was still taking us time to flow down through the river. So I would have thought, yeah, with that run outside, they might push the shore a little bit harder than that.
Notice Tagara didn't decide to go back out in the middle of the channel like last lap.
No, they certainly haven't hit that eastern shore, have they?
Dived on the face of a good one there, didn't they?
Yeah. Just looking behind us, it does appear to be building a little bit more behind us, so hopefully that breeze does filter down over the whole course. Make it interesting for the last couple of laps.
There's still a little bit of run left as we went past that channel marker.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but certainly slowed down.
Yeah, we're probably at that point now where staying in the breeze might be more important than the tide. Almost looks like a bit more in the east, the breeze at the moment, especially down here. Actually, Bosker's running a lot more straight down the channel than they were in the last lap. Bosco choosing to jibe out early rather than run up into Woola, where they were probably just a little bit higher this time than last time. They jibed a bit earlier. Some great drone footage there from Dylan.
Yeah, Noakes didn't go as far as the Bosco. Just looking back up the course, the new breeze seems to be coming down the centre of the course. Maybe they're both.
You can see it there on the screen behind those.
Yeah.
Darker patches all coming down. So
Yeah, I'd say the guys at the front are just protecting their positions, stay in the middle.
Yeah, that's probably a good representation of the breeze coming down. Just a slight build. Noakes in a very nice line there.
The Bosco certainly aren't lacking pressure there, are they?
No, when you think last lap they were right up underneath the Pelicans to the shore,
Yeah.
and then had to put 2 extra drives in to get down the mark. Now they look like they're laying it on port. Mackey's even looks like they're hiking it down pretty hard.
Kurt called that one so he could have a jibe drop.
every bowman's trying.
Every bowman does that.
Work smarter, not harder. Yeah, that is.
Certainly a little different, those spinnakers, aren't they?
Yeah, they're the ones that Kurt's making, but be interesting to see if Sarah and Kurt and Mackie are able to take out the title this year, whether or not Paranox Sales is get a few more boats in the fleet with them.
You know, someone in Balgala Heights is now going to go out and buy a new TV, don't you?
Look at that perfect jibe drop set up.
Picked that from a mile out, didn't they?
Yeah.
The breeze certainly lifts off down at this bottom mark compared to what we're seeing at the compression up near the River Club.
Yeah. Just that probably where we are here, so a little bit out of the tide. It's flatter water. Just sometimes it can seem like it's lifted off, but it's not really.
That's the most right I've seen someone come out of this mark.
Yeah.
But they're nearly going to lay the point at that.
Normally in a nor'east.
Oh,
there we go.
Yeah.
Kiss of death.
Curse appears.
Curse appears. I'm still looking at Noakes' angle. It's nearly going back around to the east, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Normally when they come around this mark, you're aiming just above the clubhouse at St George Sailing Club.
We're definitely a long way above that.
Yeah.
Right, let's see if Jerome can put this pack away nicely so it goes back up there.
That's not a bad one.
That looks better, doesn't it?
Yeah. The real question is, will Sam on the on the Tagara. Get their kite away a bit neater than they did last time as well.
Yeah, they are coming in a little hot. It's got plenty of room, though.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing about the jibe drop. It
Anytime.
certainly allows a
Anytime.
cleaner drop.
Anytime. Made that a little hard for himself.
Not too bad in the end. They certainly look a lot closer to Noakes than they did last lap, so.
About a 6.5 out of 10 for that one.
CTR Civil. We'll see if it looks like they haven't set themselves up for a jibe drop on this one, so that'll be a nice long jibe in. See how good James Turner goes getting the kite around.
Pretty sure Richards has a bit of experience as well.
Season campaigner.
He certainly is, yeah.
Old Rich, yep.
There
Just
they go.
soft line ants against Rich. Remember back in the olden days, he built it at our house. It's
Really?
like a 10 and 12-year-old, yeah.
Okay.
And Phil, like Phil and Rich.
I was going to say,
all the Illawarra crew.
I remember growing up sailing against Phil. His nickname was always Lucky Phil.
Lucky Phil.
He seemed to get lucky nearly every race.
13 may have jibed, double jibe.
Oh, abort.
Jibe, so 16 jibe back.
Must be something about that boat.
That's the boat, is it?
That's
I'm probably going to tell a story that my wife is going to kill me for.
It's all right, Gil, we're here to protect you.
However,
we can edit this out later. If
when Ryan and I were sailing the 13, quite often Nako wouldn't be around, so Ryan quite often jumped on board the Noakes with Bridgie and Mackie. So one particular day, I hadn't got someone to fill in for Ryan, so Mandy steered, which Mandy's obviously a very good steerer.
Yeah.
And got up around, had to be 25 westerly. I mean, pulling the spinnaker down and going around Woolaware. Something happened. Mandy's gone over the back and she's hanging on to the rudder frame as we round up. And I look behind and there's about 10 feet behind us, here comes the Noakes. and all they could say was, Mackie and Bridgie were saying, Ryan, you are not allowed to laugh at your mother. But we kept going. And
oh, look at that. The Bocamp Metalwork, our Bocamp Metalworkers, great little run in there. Got some nice breeze.
Piton.com.
yeah,
Coming in hot. Low hooks, boys.
It's just east down this end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Still north up or northeast up the top end.
Josh Tasker in the bow there, putting his arm above his head. Once again, Josh would only weigh about 60 kilos wringing wet, so not sure whether that's going to help anything.
Just
Bernard Parker and Ben Swinfield. Benny Swinfield in the bow there. Looks like he's still
Holding on.
Holding on. Yeah. I think the last nationals that Ben did was Perth in 1998, 99. Long time between drinks.
A very long time, Jacko.
There's the 11 on the sheet of that boat. Shane Lackey, our Vice Commodore at St George.
been good.
Does an amazing amount of work for the club.
He's been good this week. He's been flicking me all the crew updates as they're coming through and everything. So thank you, Shane. Appreciate that. Makes my job easier.
I've got to be careful what I say too, Jimmy. Some of these boats might have some of my clients sailing on board them. So I've got to be careful not to be too critical.
Big angle changes, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. You had that easterly down near the bottom mark, and now you sort of back more into almost a traditional nor'easter.
Yeah.
Even a little bit in north of that, but
I was going to say, in a second you'll see Bosco. It's nearly getting right round to the nor'east in there, isn't it?
yeah. Once again, it looks like Bosco might have taken a bit of a jump. I suppose that's half the battle, the trick, knowing when to sort of transition from that easterly sort of breeze and get back into the left to get that nor'east. Sagara looking not too bad there. Seems to be a little bit more twist than I would have thought in their main.
I was just saying, they've got plenty of pressure, haven't they?
Yeah. They certainly come right back at Noakes. You can't see it on screen at the moment, but shortly Noakes will come into shot and you'll see actually how close they are. Certainly close enough for Noakes to start having to cover and what have you.
Yeah, definitely close up there, haven't they?
There you go, Tagara made it a little bit easier for them. It's great to see the boats of this level having such good competition. It certainly puts them in good stead for state and national titles when they're racing in the bigger fleets. So we've got the first two heats of the states in, well, first three heats I should say, first weekend of the states in 2 weeks' time. Port Hunter, once again river sailing. So hopefully the St George boys, with their experience down here, will get some good results up there.
The tide absolutely snots up there.
Certainly does. The Noak's about to come into plenty of traffic here with some lasers.
I'm just trying to pick our hole through here. I won the one with 11.
There we go.
The one with D.
There we go. And went through. Nice work, Jimmy. Let's see. Will we have a bit of a tacking duel here? So Tagara's tacked. Will Noakes tack back to cover?
This just plays right into Bosco built. There they are in the back of the screen. This plays right into their pants if they do.
Yeah, they're gone now effectively, aren't they? They've taken that extra jump up, and I think Noakes is just concentrating on Tagara.
So they've got plenty of pressure and a nice angle, haven't they?
Yeah.
So what do we have, a third time to the top at the moment?
Third time to the top,
Another complete clap.
one more complete lap, and then they next on the top they'll run straight from here down to the club, finish in front of the club.
Very good. It's always a bit of a tricky one too, going down that northern shore.
Yeah, well that's right, especially with the easterly slant we got it in there at the moment. Certainly a nice touch, but finishing in front of the club, especially if it's a big crowd in attendance. Always good to scare some of the patrons who are having a nice relaxing dinner with the hooter.
Normally just they got the glass of red up to their face.
Yeah, it shakes all over.
The white shirt.
The white shirt. Soon to be pink shirt. So while we're talking, Noakes and Tagara sort of split. They're both on starboard at the moment. Actually, Noakes putting in another tack. So we've got Tagara working the western shore and Noakes working the eastern shore.
Noakes probably keeping an eye on the angle that Oscar has.
Yeah, once again a bit more easterly at this end of the course now.
It's the old story, isn't it? The marks on the eastern shore, you probably need to attack it. They look good early down there in the left, but as they come across, they just swing back to the right.
Yeah, and like you said last lap, the tide's not running as hard as it was.
No.
So, not going to get as much of a benefit.
Looks like the Bosca's picked a good way here.
Oh, so on camera there you just saw the Noakes there, guys. They've actually, looks like they've run aground,
I
did
was
they?
going to say that does look like it hit the bottom, doesn't it?
Quick adjustment to the centreboard and back out the wire. What's that going to do for Tagara? Will it let them back in? Will they cross? Looking pretty good at the moment.
Close.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Boscafield climbing out to his top mark.
Oh. Might be a bit more breeze than we think. I think Tagara might have Noakes when they come back here.
Yeah, it's looking like it, isn't it?
You see Tagara coming back there in the background below Bosca. Yep. Tagara's got it. That's a great recovery. Once they're there, Tagara, we're about 45 seconds behind the Noakes.
What's the crew weight sort of difference between the two?
You'd probably say Noakes is a little bit lighter.
Okay.
With his up range, it's probably played into Tagara's, Sammy Monkhouse, not a small guy, neither Sam for that matter. Sam Worrell, I should say. Like both sets of crews, both super fit, a lot of them, but yeah, sometimes just that extra bit of swinging weight can make a difference.
And potentially not running aground.
Well, that's it. Your boat speed's not great when you've got a centreboard in the sand.
No.
Quite often you've got to get back across the shallow bit to get back out too.
Oh, another. Okay, so.
I'm just wondering whether Tagara's actually got the bungee around the top of the forestay, whether it's come undone. I seem to have a bit of a pickle with that each time.
It's one of the things with this course, it's usually with the starboard rounding at the bottom, port rounding at the top, more often than not you'll have a windward set.
Yeah.
The 16 still probably a leeward set is their preference.
No one else seems to be having the similar problems. I'm just wondering whether the bungees come undone.
Also, maybe the Tagara guys are using an older kite or something like that.
True. Yeah, as Gilly alluded to earlier, another can of McLeod.
Saying that, it still seems to be going through the water okay when they are sailing.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that kite's a kite made by Neil Tasker at Barracuda Sails, so another local sail maker down the Shire. So they've got 2 runs and 1 work left. What does Snakes do to get back in front of Tagara?
You'd have to say Boscoville's gone there.
I think so. I think with that crew, I don't think they're going to make a mistake. Highly unlikely anyway. Let's see if the commentator's curse works on that one.
Certainly running nicely down their shore here, aren't they?
Yeah, we've still got plenty of sailing. As I said, two spinnaker runs and a whole work, so plenty of time for Noakes to catch up. Okay, so Noakes are going to jive on top of Tagara just a little bit earlier. I think Tagara might have gone a little bit too far for their own liking. They probably started a little bit out of the breeze.
Does look to be a bit more breeze back in the centre here, doesn't there?
Yeah.
I noticed Bosco further up the course there has decided to come back to the northern side. They didn't really go into that eastern shore.
I think they learned that on the first lap, how light it was up in there. Tagara are doing quite well to hold off Noakes here. Like they, so I think it might be a little bit older kite they're using. Yeah, they've got great boat speed with a lot of crew behind them. I would have thought Noakes might be able to take a little bit of time out of them, but they seem to be holding them quite well.
I just don't know whether they're going into a slight header as they, the further they track, they're probably knocking in behind them. Actually turned into a nice breeze. It wasn't looking real good an hour before the start, but it's turned into a nice sailing breeze.
It certainly has. Yeah, I think about quarter to two, it looked like it was almost going to go glassy. last drop of the race and see how these top four dancers, see if they can get through without any incident, without any mistakes.
They've just come in here on a nice angle again, haven't they? Just give themselves enough time just to cruise around the mark.
It's amazing how often the top boats do that. Keep things simple.
Oh, he did give himself plenty of time.
He gave him plenty of time.
Able to pass out a cup of tea.
Yeah, I'll have jam and cream on my scones.
Yeah. Well, nothing wrong with being on the wire as you go around the mark.
Yeah, nice tidy rounding.
Similar heading to last lap.
Tagara are looking pretty settled as well, aren't they? Like, certainly helps with the flatter water, but it's not a lot you could pick wrong with that, with the trim coming down there.
So they've hopped away from Noakes' sort of.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Noakes looks like Noakes jibed out
It looks like they're
and then struggling to get back.
They big struggle to get up to the mark. Might be part of their plan so that they get a leeward set at the top.
That's it. There we go.
Jerome picked that ages ago.
Yeah, just keep going, keep going, keep going.
We'll drop before we jibe.
Looking at that angle, they might have to.
They've just got a little bit of relief.
Looks like they're going for it now, going for the early drop. So you picked a gilly.
When you're to leeward of the guys going uphill,
Yeah.
you got a bit on, and it's not over yet.
A nice, comfortable mainsail and jib jibe halfway past the mark.
Not badly executed.
Not too bad.
Yeah. A little bit of tidy up work still to be done there, Jerome.
Skipper going forward to pack the chute.
It might be on the leeward side at the top, but it doesn't look real clean, does it?
No, that's right. Let's see how, wait and see how it goes up. So, last work. Are they going to play follow the leader or? Yeah. TTR coming in.
Yeah, they haven't really fallen that far off the back, have they?
No. Look, unfortunately, they're probably a little bit too far behind to challenge these guys, but probably fortunate they've got a nice little break on the boats behind them. So,
Which one was Wishart, but they've seemed to have disappeared.
yeah, that's right. We'll keep you posted with Wishart. They might have had some issues with gravity in their mast.
Oh, no, I do see them. They're up here.
Noakes tacking out early.
Okay, so this is the first move by Noakes to try and bridge that gap.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anybody tack that early all day, have they? Everyone's gone at least onto the sandbank.
We're obviously looking for that easterly slant to stay in the whole way up. They are braking. It looks like they're braking as they get. Oh, sorry, you see TTR on screen, but off camera, Noakes is heading in towards the Pelican Shore. Split quite a big distance from Tagara now, so see who wins who gets in front when they come back.
Yeah.
Just going to need a break back.
Well, we're going to get a nice Hustlers 8 tack here, Nukes. Always hard to tell how deep the gust is when the shore's in a wave.
Yeah, that's right. Not many ripples in the sand.
Especially when the sand's wet, you can't see it blowing.
I think.
Just jumped away, haven't they?
Yeah, I don't think that move worked for the Noakes then. Tagara's probably got a 35 second lead at the moment. Sorry, not a lead, but a 35 second gap over third. In the background of that shot, you can actually just see Tagara at the top right of screen.
Watching you nervously look around, Gilly, what were you looking? Was it the two red channel markers, was it?
Yeah, I'll just check in there between the two marks. I'm pretty sure we're not going to see Noakes go hard right up there again after hitting the bottom last time.
That's right, yeah.
So it's 11 team there, I believe.
Yeah, Matt Mulholland.
Having a good battle with the metal workers, metal workers.
Yep. So the 11 team this season got a new forward hand on board. They got Tom Bryden. So Tom's actually the son of James Bryden, who used to start in the bow of the 16s, back with the late Jamie Roberts.
Right.
But also he's Paul Donovan's nephew. Paul Donovan, life member of St George Sailing Club, and former basically used to run the whole club basically back in the day, the whole sailing side of things anyway. So yeah, it seems to be going quite well.
Noakes look like they've broken something.
Yeah, what have we got there?
Either that or they've gone in and packed that spinnaker away properly, but unless, or possibly even could have come out and got caught on something. Looks like they're going again now.
Yeah.
Not going to help their cause.
No, that.
I don't know, is it just me or is that lacking a lot of boom thing, that boat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does look it, doesn't it?
It's maybe there's some issue there. They've been sailing at a lot of twist the last two laps.
You coming to us?
It looks very high in the back end, that boom, doesn't it?
Still doesn't look like it's broken as such, the Vang, but yeah, whether they just can't get any
it
on.
on, or maybe the rigger was just in there fixing it.
Yeah. Otherwise, the boat looks to all to be in one piece. No issues. But so that's IGD. It's Paul Lynette, Illawarra Gear and Diff. So another, let's politely say, veteran of the class. Paul's probably been sailing now in the 16 since the 80s as well. So I think that's the beauty of the class. With only two on the wire, it allows the older skippers to stay in the fleet and not have to be as probably mobile and athletic and fit as the crews.
I think Corky would have a dispute with you, mate.
Good old Action.
Yeah.
I miss sailing against Action. I used to come in off the water having sailed against him and always know there was going to be a cold beer waiting for me thanks to our beer bets. Shout out to Corky. Oscar in the distance.
They haven't done a lot wrong today, have they? Have they done anything wrong?
No, they haven't done anything wrong. They're a hard boat to commentate on. They're like Iceman in Top Gun. They just never make any mistakes.
Certainly a lot different twist profile than the Noakes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just seeing if there's any tide on that mark there. It's
Very
just
little.
about stopped, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's our forecast low tide at the moment, so a little bit of residual run, but not enough to worry about now. Those seas were probably a little bit flatter up that work than they were the previous works.
Fair bit flatter through the bottom and midsection, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure that's something. Yeah, you get Kurt and Bryce will probably review the footage when they get home and have a look at their two rigs.
May have even overlaid this a fraction.
Been a pretty good day when that's the only thing you can say they've kind of done wrong. It's a slight overlay. It's even just a little thing like their weight placement in the boat. You know, it's just Kurt's a good foot back from the shrouds.
It's just nothing's happening, is it? It's just going fast.
Yeah.
Leaving back here must be exactly.
Wake up, Kurt, we're about to attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of boom going in and out, main going on and off. It's just
They've got their groove and they're in it.
blasting through the water.
Yeah. Oh. Probably a bit too much jib off there, Kurt. Probably if we're going to be critical.
Oh,
No. Almost.
plenty of sail coat. So, where's the next one? Got a good gap, haven't they?
Yeah, they've cleared out now.
They've probably got enough lead here now, but this is the run that you always get to the point down here, and you're never happy until you've got from the point to the club.
Yes.
Pretty sure that was at the Botany Bay last year. I think that was in the nor'easter, and the two boats were within about 2 or 3 seconds of each other all the way down that shore.
So off-camera viewers, Tagara still comfortably in second. Noakes still comfortably in third. So these longer races, they are a battle of attrition sometimes, and you know, the fitter guys usually and the better guys usually rise to the top. And that's what's happened here today.
Ambulance, you don't see the gym 6 days a week, Jack.
Sorry, what's a gym?
Sick. I'm the same.
I've heard about them.
Place of gathering.
A little bit lighter in where the boss was heading.
Well, they're setting up for a jibe shortly. They'd want to be anyway. There they go. For those Tagara fans, Tagara's just rounded the top mark, so it gives you a bit of an idea of the lead the Bosco has now. So still a little bit of chop there. You know, Pete's still in the back corner there, still his foot in the back, right in the back corner. Worried a little bit, I guess, but about the odd rogue wave.
Just looking at the sandbar down there, it is coming a long way. There's people a long way out in the water there, aren't there?
Yeah, well, like at the moment too, we've got, you know, more traditional sort of northeast slant. But if we get the easterly in there, it's going to be see what angle they come in on starboard. They might have to go a long way on port before they drive back. It doesn't leave you much room there when you do come back in with that, like I said, the sandbar being so sitting out so far. Doesn't give you much room for error to get through the finish line.
There's Tagara chasing down just off that point at
Doll's Point.
Doll's Point. Thank you, Jack. It's the reason why I bring locals along.
They got a very nice Bosco with a very nice line down here. Vera was talking about the easterly, and they're going in on a northerly.
Yeah, I'd be taking the depth if I could, I think.
Yeah, I think that might. You know, they may get down in one jibe, but I'd be surprised.
There one little one inside him here, probably did just take him down enough.
Yeah, might get them down there.
So, what's that, Napoleon Street, that one?
Yes. Pete Mackey just crouching in on the wire there, trying to get as much depth as possible to get under the sandbank and not have to jibe again. There you go. I've said they wouldn't do it. Looks like they are.
One last little gust to get them home.
There they are across now.
Yeah, well sailed race. Yeah, they certainly showed their class today, didn't they?
Yeah, looks like they've won by about half a leg.
There is no second, Your Majesty.
There is second on the screen, Jack.
Good old Tagara.
Gara.
Another famous name in sailing in Sydney, in skiff communities.
Yeah.
I think it's great that some of the guys maintain some of those links to the past. Sam being a member of the Monkhouse family. It's great that he continues it on.
Yeah, all old Cliffy Monkhouse's notes before Tagara.
Yep.
Local tongue for nor'easter.
Okay. There we go.
Didn't know I knew another language, did you, Jack?
I've heard you speak some other languages, but none of which I recognise. So when you think back to the abandoned races, before that Heat 1 was abandoned, I think Bosco finished 8th in that race. So, to go from having that 8th to now having a first and having I'm sure they'd be pretty pleased with that outcome.
Yeah, the ones will be disappointed at Noakes, but...
Yeah, that's right. Noakes having won that race. And then, now
Got a third.
in a third, looks like. And Tagara through for second. Yeah, interesting to see what happened on the Noakes, because
They were
the second
coming in
half,
hot.
yeah, that second half of the race they really dropped off. Whether they did break something or
Didn't look right for the last two
No.
laps, did it?
I think they look fine going downwind, but great shot.
Just trying to. Is that one of Kurt Spinnaker's as well?
I believe so. Yeah.
It's not exactly the same though, is it?
Just wondering whether that's a Mark 1 version or.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Pretty sure it's not being worked as heavily as the first one that came down here.
That rounds out our podium. Noakes in third. So considering the what looked like to be an ordinary day, I think they would have had some bit of fun out there today. Saying that, it might have been a bit of a training run for the Boscoville. They look very
comfortable.
Yeah.
There with that white spinach you can just make out. On the left is TTR Silver.
Lucky Phil.
Fourth.
They're coming in hot as well.
I was going to say there's plenty of pressure out there on that course at the moment, isn't there?
Phew. Nothing like a bit of traffic to help out as well.
Come on, Richard, you can get it there. Surely it'll soften up enough down to here to come up to the finish.
Let's not forget too, James Turner's not at his sort of playing weight from a few years back. He's a little bit fitter, but less riding moment.
He's definitely slimmed down, Junior.
It's a real boom dragger, isn't it?
Oh, come on. Let's give something for the fans. What the fans want.
You asked, they deliver, Jack.
There we go.
We're
Oh,
not,
jeez.
we're not safe here either. I
No. Oh, jeez.
And
Over and out.
Junior, if you're watching this back on the replay, oh, you're rum.
just looks over and sees the camera boat and is like, kidding.
The heart sank. Yeah, thanks for the wave, Junior. There we go. Still in good spirits. Don't think they're going to lose any places because of that.
As I said before, it's always interesting that last little bit, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's right. The first three boats came down there in this beautiful breeze the whole way through. No issues.
It's got to be one of the quickest swims I've seen.
With the spinnaker up. Yeah.
Well, yeah, with a spinnaker up, but nothing to play for fourth. But
We'll see how keen they are if they put their kite back up to get across the finish line.
I reckon not.
we're two old wise heads on board that boat that would say
That'll
it's not
do.
going back up.
That'll do.
All right, I think next on course, a long way up, is Wishart, just sort of coming off Dole's Point area there at the moment. So we might take the opportunity to wrap up today's proceedings. And just as we said that, just off screen, TTR have put up their spinnakers, so obviously Junior's got the better of them. So thanks, Gilly, for coming and joining us. If you enjoyed it, we'll definitely have you back. It's nice having you around.
Yeah, we'll just have to make sure it's not a nice day. I'd rather be sailing sometimes.
I know you would be, but I'll check the forecast before we ring you.
But then again, if that was me on the TTR, the spinnaker wouldn't have gone back up.
No. And Jack, thanks as always for jumping in and sorting things out down here for us. And
Pleasure, Jimmy.
organising commentators and checking to make sure the riders are all the correct riders on shore. Thanks to Piers, Sammy, Dylan and Chits for making all these images all come to you. And this has been a Sail Media production for the St George Sailing Club.